All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Houston Rockets Daily. My name is Jackson. I post daily Rockets content. Hit that like button, hit that sub button if you guys enjoy it. So right across from me, we're looking at Minute Maid Park here. We're live in H-Town. Went to this game last night. It was great meeting a lot of you guys. First off, shout out to Jorge for making this haul happen. Shout out to his friend HB. Houston's awesome. The culture is awesome. I love the people. They treat you like family. I mean, it really is just so cool, and it puts everything in perspective, and it's very surreal. This is my first ever Houston Rocket game. It was very surreal. We were right by the bench, and I haven't watched the highlights or the game again. I got to watch it back because I guarantee you we were on TV. That's how clutch this guy was. So we're gonna just do a quick. Might not be quick. We're gonna just do a little recap video here. When you're watching the game live, it's completely different, in my opinion. This was only my third ever basketball game. The first one was in 2010 when Rose and Dwight Howard was on the Magic. My last one was right before COVID with the Jazz. I don't think you're supposed to say that word on YouTube. It was Jazz Bulls. It was a brutal game. This was before we got our boys. So it's very different to me. However, by the end of the game, you really start to see things like Houston, for the most part, had this game. It was so winnable. Like, they had this game for the most part all the way up until the fourth quarter. They got outscored 34-22. I do think it was kind of cool. First off, seeing Ja Morant play was pretty cool. He's a lot smaller in person than I thought. 49 points. But I think one thing we really saw was Ja Morant and Jalen Green, they're cut from the same cloth. Like, both of them are highly electric, scoring, superstar athletic studs. And so watching Ja drop 49, I forgot my barbecue sauce in the hotel room, but I was ready. It was pretty cool because at the end of the day, right, we want Vic, or if we don't want Vic, this is our last rebuilding season. I don't want this to get me. You never know with YouTube. That's the thing. You just never know. Like, you're showing Clemson game. Well, that's my bad. My bad, YouTube. But we had this game. Right, we had this game. There were some things that were interesting. Like, for example, Josh Christopher played 3 minutes. I don't know if something came out afterwards that he tweaked something. I never saw him go to get medical attention. Yeah, never saw him get medical attention. Bruno Fernando, he only played 12 minutes. I actually tried to find him on the bench in the fourth quarter, and I couldn't find him. So I don't know if something came out with him too. I probably should have checked the injury report before I made this video, but I want to go outside and stuff. one last day here. And that was just interesting. Garrison Matthews playing 13 minutes. And it's not like Garrison actually played bad. I mean, he made 1 3, shot 1 of 2 from downtown, finished as a +5. His defensive intensity was there. It's just sometimes, like in the first game of the season, sometimes it just comes back to bite you. But Garrison saw good playing time. I like that Tari saw 20 minutes tonight. That's a step in the right direction. But really what it comes down to me last night was Jalen Green dropped 33 points, 13 of 21, 4 of 5 from downtown. But another critical thing was, especially in the first half, you really saw this. Whenever he was guarding Ja, he looked really good. That was kind of Jalen Green's knock because he began to be more efficient after his rookie season in the second half. After the first half in his rookie season. So he began to be more efficient on offense. So then the only knock became, defense. And I personally, I don't need Jalen Green to be an all defensive shooting guard. I need him to get the job done when I need him to get the job done, right? I want to be able to rely on him defensively, and I feel like he's definitely trending in that right direction. So if he keeps ascending to this, which I already think he's a growing superstar in this league, I mean, he looks great. He really looks great. Alperen Sengun had an unbelievably stellar bounce back game. And you're going up, I know they're missing Triple J, but you're going up against some big boys. Steven Adams in real life, in person, is ginormous. He's ginormous on the TV. Santi Aldama, he's even 7 feet. He's a big boy. I mean, they got Tillman. There's a lot of big boys on the Memphis Grizzlies. They're definitely eating well down in Memphis, as they should, because Memphis has some smacking food. But not as good as Houston. But Alperen Sengun, 6 turnovers in the first game of the season. Well, last night he played 27 minutes. He actually closed the game for us. Thought it, like I said, I don't know what's going on with Bruno, if they just decide to go in a different direction. He turned the ball over once, had a couple of fouls. The defense just, I guess, they weren't liking it with Bruno Fernando out there. Sengun was just in his bag last night. Finished with 23 points, 12 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds, I think is a very important statistic. Like, he was down in the trenches just banging it out. He shot 9 of 13, extremely efficient from the field. He made 1 out of 2 threes, which was cool. He's trending in the right direction with threes. Sometimes I want him to take a little bit more. There are plenty of times where he's open. The free throw woes are ultimately the reason we lost, in my opinion. Like, it really came – we'll talk about another reason why in just a second, but ultimately it came down to Alperen Sengun going 4 of 10 from the free throw line and the whole team going 18 of 30 for 60%. We can't keep having these free throw woes. It's what's getting us out of these close games. We're always in these games. Fourth quarter comes, the offense starts to stall out a little bit, right? And we can't make our free throws. And it's just a tough double doink, double whammy, 2-for-1 opportunity where it's like, we got to make our free throws. At the end of the day, we got to make our free throws. So he finished with the team high plus 13. The bench did a very good job in general. KJ Martin, Tari Eason, they were doing their things. Both ends of the court, Tari Eason was all over the place. But I'm loving what I'm seeing from Alperen Sengun. He had an unbelievably huge bounce-back game, and I'm excited for this season. I'm very excited for this season for Alperen Sengun, especially working with Hakeem. I mean, it's just there's a lot of hype around him. But he's very young. He's very raw. He's going to make a lot of mistakes. Now, in the starting unit, you had Eric Gordon continue to just do his thing. I like that Eric Gordon is out there. I really don't think at the end of the day he's contributing to winning basketball that much. Like, yes, he gets us buckets. He can help facilitate a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's not like we're talking about MVP guy, Joel Embiid, James Harden. So for the time being, I like having Eric Gordon on the team, although I guess realistically, just because of this season, I like that we started out 0-2 as doggy as it is. There's a lot of teams tanking, right? This is going to be our last year tanking. We're really solid. Like, we're a really solid basketball team. And I think winning games is going to be an issue for us because we're going to win too many. I think we're literally going to win too many basketball games. They're going to have to start shipping guys like Eric Gordon off relatively soon, most likely. All right, most likely. Now, Jabari never really got going. In the first half especially, I feel like he actually didn't really get the ball. You notice that in the opening night, there was, you're playing with 2 ball-dominant guards in KPJ and Jalen Green. And I think I really noticed it the first night against Atlanta was in the first quarter. I don't believe in the first rotation he was in, I don't believe he got the ball on offense. Like, I think he got 1 defensive rebound in the first 7-8 minutes he was in. To my knowledge, he did not get the basketball passed to him. So it was almost similar in the same sense. When he gets the ball, I feel like it's not like he forces anything because he's hard to block at 7 feet. He's definitely tall. It's a very tall dude. Like, he's actually really freaking tall. He's a lot bigger than I thought too. Finished as minus 31. I don't blame the defensive woes on him. It's going to take a while for him to get, like, he had 5 fouls. It's going to take a while for him to just, like, earn his credit, right? He's a rookie. So he's not going to get many calls on offense, and they're going to call him a lot on defense. But at the end of the day, Jabari, he had a lot of good looks, especially in the second half, especially in that third and fourth quarter. But, I want to see him worked into the offense a little bit more. However, when I look at this stat line right now, I would have never guessed he took 14 shots last night. I would have never guessed that. So, we'll see. We'll see. That's kind of why I'm still thinking Jabari will average somewhere between 14 to 17, realistically 14 to 16. That's why my prediction for Jabari was 15 points in his rookie season. Is just because, when he gets the ball, I feel like unless he's shooting extremely efficiently, which when he first came to the NBA as a rookie, it's going to be really hard to do that. I just think his efficiency isn't going to be quite what it can be, obviously, in his career. Now, Kevin Porter Jr., I saw a tweet on Twitter from a guy I really respect, guy I used to work for, actually, Dev. And he said KPJ's shot selection is going to come back to bite him in the playoffs. However, there are games like those 2 games last season, I believe it was on back-to-back games, where I remember the game winner against Washington, where sometimes he just kind of takes over and he's just not missing his shots. Well, one thing HB, one of the guys who was with us last night, was pointing out is it's kind of hard to get that offense going in the late quarters. That's where having guys past first point guards, that's where that's really nice to have. So KPJ, yeah, he'll take some bad shots. Everyone's going to take some bad shots. I like that he only had 3 turnovers. He had 4 assists. He had 5 rebounds. He finished with 18 points. He went 4 of 8 from downtown. But in the last 4 or 5 minutes, when Memphis and Ja, they were just running up and down the court, they were scoring in transition. Ja was doing his thing. Their guys were making their shots. We'd come back on the offensive end, and it would just stall out. It was just stalled out offense. So it's something to note, and it's definitely something to keep an eye on. And I think it makes Kevin Porter Jr.'s extension that much more nice because only 1 year is guaranteed. Even if we kept him for all 4 years, with the new CBA coming into agreement, it's a really team-friendly contract. Like 20 million will be the new 15 million. So even if KPJ, I'm just playing devil's advocate here, even if one day he were to come off the bench for us, the contract is extremely reasonable, and you're already starting to begin to see how reasonable of a contract it is, right? Tyler Hero just got 130. I'm all set with that one. So that's it for today, man. Let me know what you guys are thinking down below. Long night last night. I'll probably go live tomorrow or something when I'm back home, but all these fucking hits here. Long night. We're gonna have an even better day today. So appreciate all you guys. It was great meeting a lot of you last night. You're the reason this is all possible. So appreciate all the support, and I'll catch you guys